Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Yes, we have yet another Zoom interview today and another musical guest, a beautiful lady, Jennifer Truesdale, and I'm going to interview her. She's going to play some of her beautiful keyboard music. It flows like a golden dragon across a Swan Lake.
Wow.
Swans, I just made that up. But before we get there, I got to read these great underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we got Eli's Auto Repair in Taunton. We got Britton Tire Service in Brockton. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got A1's Tire and Auto Center in Brockton. We got Lynch's Towing, Auto Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for projects, one number for towing. We got Middleborough Barbering Company in Middleborough. We got C&J Auto Body, Auto Glass Towing in Stoughton. We got Sweezy Fence Erectors in Whitman. We got Town Auto Glass installed in Abington. We got Anthony Cycles in Bridgewater. We got Easton Fitness in Northeastern, right there in the Village Shops. We got Doggy Boutique, all breed professional grooming for dogs and cats in Brockton, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Dini Auto Body in Bridgewater. We got Joe's Diner in Taunton, and we got the Gun Runner LLC in Middleborough, dedicated to your Second Amendment rights. I want to thank you guys very much. And now on that note, this is Jennifer Truesdale. As I said, she's a musician. I guess she's a teacher. She's a very talented lady. We've been trying to get her on the show for a while, and now we're finally making it happen. So Jennifer, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
My pleasure.
Restaurant, by the way, with that square glass back.
I know. Well, during COVID, doing Zoom everything, one has to, use screens to hide something sometimes.
Okay, I get you. I don't know what you're trying to hide, but if it needs hiding, then keep it hidden. Keep it hidden.
It's nothing really worth hiding. It's just kind of a blah brick wall, just kind of something to spruce it up, I should say.
I understand. It looks great. I'm sure the brick wall looks okay too. All right. Well, now what I do with every guest, regardless of whether they're here or somewhere else, is I talk about their life story, try to, profile them, bring us up to speed on what they were like as kids and how it got them to where they're at now.
Yeah.
And then, so let's talk about that, and then we move on to the present and then the future. Now, in your case, when we get about 10 minutes through the show, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to have you hear Jennifer perform something, and then maybe another 10 minutes after that, you can do another song. But first, I want to find out. Tell me about, like I said, yourself, where you grew up, and how young were you when you started music, and how it led to where you're at now.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So I grew up in outside of Boston in Arlington, Mass. And yep, I'm sorry.
Still there. You're still there.
And it's still there. Yes. So my husband and I both grew up in Arlington, and when it was time after we got married and we wanted to buy a house, we were really fortunate to be able to buy. It's a wonderful town. We were so happy to come back here to settle. And it's great. We love it here. We have an amazing community, a really musical community. There's a lot of musicians who live in Arlington, and so we have some great places to go hear music right here in town too, which is awesome.
Yeah, you have the Regent Theater, and you have the Capitol Theater.
So we have the Regent Theater and the Capitol Theater. Now the Capitol Theater is primarily movies.
Oh, I know.
But the Regent does show films and it's a fantastic live performance space. And then we also have Monotony Tavern down right on the Cambridge line that has live music, and Town Tavern that has live music, and then a few other little pop-up places that do open mics and things like that, which is really fun.
Of course, you could cross into Cambridge and you get plenty of nice performance venues there too, like the Rathskeller, I think the Rathskeller's in Cambridge, and of course the Middle East, and the all-time favorite of my life was the Paradise. I don't know if it even exists anymore on Mass Ave. Remember them?
So yeah, the Paradise is still there. The Rat has closed, but
the Rat is closed. Okay.
Yep, but the Paradise is still in Boston, and then there's also amazing places right in Davis Square in Somerville, the Burren.
The Burren. I did a show from there one night.
Yeah, so we're in it's a great community, and so I grew up here, and I'll tell you the story that I always have to tell everybody, because it is the onset of my musical career. I started singing at a very young age. People will often ask me if there was a point in my life when I realized that what I wanted to do with my life was to sing, and I honestly don't remember that moment, because singing was just always what I did.
Probably were born singing.
I probably was. My grandmother was a professional singer, my paternal grandmother. And so at 3 years old, we were at a school function. My sister, who's 4 years older than me, was supposed to sing at some school function, and at the last minute she couldn't do it. And I don't know if she was sick or got scared or whatever happened. She decided she couldn't do it or wasn't able to do it, and so they asked, "Does anybody want to sing?" And so little 3-year-old Jennifer raises her hand and says, "I'll sing." And I got up in front of the whole group, the whole audience, and sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I think what happened was I always loved to sing, but it was in that moment that also discovered that love for performing for a live audience, and that amazing feedback and that give and take that a performer has with the live audience. I mean, from that moment I was hooked. I love that whole interplay and exchange between performer and audience.
And how big was the audience?
Oh, I don't know, probably about 100 people maybe.
That's pretty good for a 3-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I
wait,
mean, it was,
way to nip stage fright in the bud at an early age, for sure.
yeah, I don't know that that was ever an issue for me. I mean, I'm sure
Right.
probably as a tween, when those things happen, I was maybe a little more nervous, but certainly at that age, there was absolutely no qualms about just getting right up there. But I really was taken with that whole audience performer interchange.
That's awesome. Okay. And
Yeah,
this when you were 3. And you
I
were
was
like,
3.
you were, what's that?
I
When
said
you
I was 3. Yeah,
That's what I heard. I know. I said you were 3. So,
yeah,
and you were inspired by your older sister, who was how many years older?
4.
Oh, she was 4 years older than you, or she was
Yeah.
4 years older?
She was 7. She's 4 years older than I am.
Okay. Are you both now? Is she still singing too now?
No, she was, I think at that time she was doing it more for fun. She's actually an environmental engineer.
Okay. Well, that's great. And you keep the environment flowing with music.
That's right. That's right. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Absolutely. Goes well. All right. So this was when you were a kid. So what happened, like, as you got older, when you went to you went to your elementary school and your high school? How did that go with
That's
music?
right. So from that moment on, I mean, I was really always singing. I sang all through my school years. In elementary school, we had, chorus that I sang in. We
Okay.
had we did musicals, and I was always in the musicals. I played piano and trumpet. And then, in middle school, I was in the band with playing trumpet. In high
Wow.
school, I sang in the madrigals. I sang in the jazz band. I sang in choir. I was in the musicals. I was in drama clubs. So music and performing, they were my team sport. That's what I did. That's all I did.
Did you,
Um,
you're a very attractive woman. When you were in high school, did you ever do, like, if not cheerleading, or something which of course is rhythmical, musical in that way, or playing the band for the sports teams at your school?
yeah, so no, I was never a cheerleader.
You weren't. Okay.
And I did play in the school band, but only through middle school. When I got to high school, I decided that I was really focusing on singing.
Okay.
But what I did was I sang lead. We had a jazz band.
Wow.
And so I sang lead we had a jazz
That's awesome.
choir, and I
Okay.
sang lead with the jazz band. So I was definitely more singing. So no, I didn't play in like marching band, although
Okay.
that was always really fun looking.
It's good to have a Taylor Swift look. I'm looking at you now and I'm thinking, the song she did, "You Belong with Me," back in 2009.
I do. I
Yeah,
do.
everyone
I
knows
do.
that song. That was like her first real big hit.
It
And she did,
was.
in that video, she looked like you, saying, "I'm in." She played herself in 2 roles, being a nerdy girl, and I'm not saying it's nerdy to be in the band, and then the girl that was the quarterbacks in the high school football jock's main interest.
That's
And then
right.
high school football ended up, they were best friends with the nerdy girl. He was best friends, and then he ended up moving on to her afterwards anyway.
I
Uh,
remember the video. It was a fun video.
you look just like Taylor Swift in that video. That's
Oh,
really, of
that's really fun.
course it
That's
is.
awesome.
It is
Yeah.
awesome. Okay. So what about college? Did you go to college anywhere? And if so,
So
where?
so I did. So I graduated from Berklee College of Music,
Of course.
in Boston,
Yep.
and yeah, I was there for, well, I did a year at UMass first,
Which
and
one?
Amherst,
Okay. Party
and
Yachty?
I was a music major out there, and I had been accepted to Berkeley, but decided I wanted to defer for a year just to, be away from home and live on a campus and all of that. And that was good, and that was fun, and the music program out there is fantastic. But I knew that Berkeley was really where I belonged,
Okay.
and so I was there. Yeah, so I was there from starting in. Well, I'm not even going to say what year because it was a long time ago.
Okay. I was probably around the year, whatever year it was. All right. Listen, why don't you perform a couple songs and I'll sit back and relax? Do you feel
Oh,
like it?
Of course. Sure,
Now,
sure, sure.
and I got to tell you one thing. I love the fact that you run my show. I would love to have had you here in person, but my guess is that that keyboard I would have had to have hauled up a flight of stairs to get into that last platform if you were here. So I'm going to
Well,
relax more than I would have had to if I had to bring a keyboard, and it would have been worth it. But okay,
yeah, and you know what? Maybe at a point in the future we can do that. But I will tell you, it's a very lightweight keyboard, so that's kind of
they
nice.
all are. I'm
The
very
old,
light too with my minuscule muscles. So that,
yeah, the old ones that I had were massive and they were so heavy, and they're
I
making
know, I
them.
know. They're very user friendly and portable today. All right, well, go ahead.
They
Here's
are.
the song, and
So
you
so
put
I'm
the originals, right?
Yeah, so well, I'm gonna
Okay.
do, I've got a couple of originals for you. And then I have, I also like to do interpretations of other people's songs, but I
All right.
like to kind of do them in my way. So we'll see what I feel like doing. But I put out an album in 2019
Okay.
called Through the Circle, and I thought I'd start with the lead off track to that tune. And I'm just gonna turn my mic down just a tiny bit for singing because it gets a little bit loud.
All righty.
And this one is called I Need You Tonight, and it's really fun.
Okay.
Let me get my cord out of the way. I said I wouldn't be lonely if you said goodbye. Looked out the window, watched you walk away, told myself I wasn't gonna cry. I sat down to write a symphony, but it didn't turn out right. And oh, I just need you. I need you tonight. I took a walk outside this morning in the sweet, sweet summer rain. Watched the children laughing as they played, so joyful in their game. But you know I couldn't feel the same no matter how I tried. And oh, I just need you. I need you tonight. A certain melancholy just washes over me as I try to put the words on the page. I'm frustrated by the triviality, 'cause the story of you loving me is the only one I want to write. And oh, I need you. I need you. Oh, honey, I need you. I need you tonight. Whoa, baby, I just need you. I need you tonight. Whoa, darling, I said I need you. I need you tonight.
Oh, that was awesome. I get it.
Well, thank you. I definitely, in my songwriting and in my performing and all of that, I lean heavily on the blues.
Okay.
And I have an amazing band that plays with me. And
How many in the band?
well, it depends on the day. Sometimes
Okay.
yeah, I do it as a duo. I sometimes as a four-piece. But when we play as the a full band, it's a 10-piece band.
Oh, yeah, wow, wow.
We have
Well,
we have
that would have been hard to fit in here. I mean, even on our platform, it's pretty
It would
large.
have been really hard. And it's hard to fit in a lot of rooms, so we don't do the full band all that often. But I have horns and background vocalists, and when we can, we put the whole band together.
So, well, what you just did sounded amazing. Very upbeat and and inviting to like in the nightclub scene from the '40s and even any time really.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all right, you want
It's
to do another one?
sure, sure, sure. So I think what I'm going to do actually is a song that I didn't write.
Oh, good.
But when I was putting my album together, I knew I wanted to include some interpretations of cover songs, and
Okay.
I was thinking and I was trying to figure out what to do. And this song came on my radar screen. I was like, oh, I should do that one. But I really rearranged it, so it's in some ways a little bit unrecognizable. But see if you recognize it, and I think people really have responded to it. So I'm not going to say what the name of it is because people have to guess. All right. for the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. And when it's over, so they say, it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. But I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Said I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Well, yesterday and days before, the sun is hot and the rain is cold. I know, and it's been coming for some time. And still forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow. Said I wanna know, can it stop? I wonder. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Said I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Oh, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Said I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? On a sunny day. On a sunny, sunny day. On a sunny, sunny day. Shining down like water.
Of course, for Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Of course it was.
Version's nicer, much more nicer. They'd be jealous if they heard it.
Well, I hope they would like it. I really
Oh,
hope they would
yeah,
like
you know,
it.
your version is, you know, a little more mellow and kind of like, you know, jazzy. Theirs is more like, you know, folksy
That's right.
country and western rock that they do, which is great too.
That's right.
So you did a
That's
really
right.
nice job with that.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Kind of like the way Joe Cocker did, you know, you get hired with a little help from my friends.
Well, and I think that that's,
The Beatles did it first.
exactly. And I sort of, the viewpoint that I've always had is like, a great song is a great song, and it can, in the hands of different artists, can look like different things.
Absolutely.
And I think that as artists, what I like to do is I feel like, what does this song say to me, and what do I think about with this song, and how does it make me feel, and how can I sort of reimagine it to be my own? Not that I wrote it, but to be my own version.
Yeah, you did it. You nailed it.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you.
So tell me about what's going on right now. You teach during.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing today, obviously. That's why I had to get you on Zoom, and that's wonderful. So how is
Right.
that your regular gig now? Is teaching every day?
Yeah, I mean, for not every day, but yeah. So my full-time job, I've been self-employed, working for myself, teaching
Yeah,
voice for since 20 years.
in Arlington, where, at a middle school or at a school?
No, I have a private practice in my home.
Okay, is that where you're
Yeah.
at now? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is my private studio in my home. So I had a yes, so for about 20 years now I've been teaching private voice lessons. I also do group lessons. I also do workshops and all
Wow.
of that. And that is what I do during the day. And so it's music for me all the time between teaching and performing and writing and doing recording sessions. So it's and it's wonderful because it, you know, obviously allows me the flexibility, but also I get to work with amazing singers. I get to work with some just amazing people.
That's true. Okay. Now you performed at the Burn before?
Yes, we've been there a bunch. It's one of our favorite
Oh, that
places.
was a wonderful club. I know Tom, who runs it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also know his wife, Danielle. I was supposed to get her on the show about 10 years ago. It never happened. You kind of look like her a little bit. You got that, pretty blonde look, singing, outgoing spirit and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, she's fantastic. They're both fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah, yeah, they are.
good friends.
Uh,
They're good friends.
so tell me about, like, what's your family, if you don't mind. I'm just curious. Do you have a big family? Do you have children, or, that are musically inclined or not, or just your husband? Even though he's not is your husband a musician too?
No, my husband is not a musician, but he is a great music lover,
Okay,
and
I'm sure he is.
he's a huge music fan, and you know, my biggest advocate and promoter, and I could not ask for somebody more supportive. It's he's amazing in that regard, and he, you know, he's a good shower singer.
Hey?
My and I have one son. He's 16.
Oh, okay. What's his deal now? Is he doing anything musical, athletic, or
So yeah, so he plays guitar and he loves it and he really enjoys it, but his first love is sports.
okay?
He plays hockey and baseball
Okay. Arlington
and
High School?
Arlington High School, yeah.
Okay.
And that's really that's what he loves. And I think for him, he music is his something he gets to do for his own pleasure and enjoyment.
Right.
But sports is where he focuses his efforts and his energies.
Oh, great. Okay. So you have a whole thing. So now going forward, what do you now? Have you ever, like, performed? Have you gone outside New England? Have you ever gone to New York? Ever done anything? Ever gone to any of the performed? You ever open for anybody really big? If not, that's fine. I'm just wondering. Trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
so I personally I've never really opened for anybody super big. I did open for Paula Cole, who is super big,
Oh, I know Paula Cole. Yeah.
but it was part of a group of singers. I'm participate in a nonprofit organization called Chick Singer Night.
Okay. Cool.
And Chick Singer Night is a national organization, and I run the with my partner Marcia Macris. We
Okay.
run the Boston chapter.
Okay.
And several years ago, a group of the directors for Chick Singer Night, we opened for Paula Cole
Wow.
out in Malibu at Pepperdine University,
That's awesome.
and
See,
that was super exciting. So she's probably the biggest star I've opened for.
that's
But I can't really say that I opened for her. We did as a group, and it was
Where's my
amazing.
cowboy? Where's my shining star? You know that song from those
Yes,
50 years
yes,
ago.
she's so great. She's so
Yeah.
great. And I've played with a lot of amazing musicians, and open for wonderful artists. I mean, are they big celebrities? No.
That's okay. I mean,
And
that's where you're at now. I mean, you're in that. You're right now. You're doing what you love, and you're
that's
great at it.
right.
Yeah, and the fact that that you even considered for that is pretty impressive. So, but now going forward, do you have any big plans on the horizon for the future? Like, you're gonna travel anywhere to increase your venues? Your
Right. Well,
performance?
hopefully we can all be traveling somewhere sometime
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. But I mean, with you
Um,
specifically though.
yeah. So I just started working on my next album.
Okay.
And so I'm my right now on the horizon is writing and recording the rest of that album.
Good.
And then it's certainly my hope that when that album comes out, we'll be in a position to be able to do some touring.
Yeah.
Hopefully things will have opened
Yeah.
up by then.
Yes.
But yeah, so for me personally, I've also done, and this is something I continue to do a lot of, I've done a lot of songwriting and recording and production for film and television,
Yep.
a lot of studio
Oh,
work.
who's that last thing? Cinema television? What televisions? You like?
So for film and television, I've
Yeah.
written
Okay.
songs for film and TV, and
Okay.
so
Tell me some of the films and TV of shows that you've written music for.
right, right. So for a long time, I was sort of queen of the soaps, And a lot of my songs were played on shows like The Young and the Restless and All My
Oh,
Children and The Guiding Light. I think that was one of them. General Hospital. And then I've also had placements in Hawaii Five-O.
wow.
And so
Not the old one, the
the
new
new
one.
one, the new
Right.
one,
When you brought
recently,
me,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. And
going,
so that's a wonderful thing that I've done a lot with.
yeah,
And what I loved about that is, particularly at the time when my son was small and I wasn't really interested in touring, I have some great co-writers that I worked with, and so that's been really fun. So continuing, obviously, to do more of that, but songwriting is where my heart is, and songwriting and recording. And I co-produced my last album with David Minahan over at Woolly Mammoth Sound in Waltham.
okay, great. I
And
know who he
that's,
is.
yeah, and that's where I'm
I don't know
recording.
the person, but I've heard of him, and I know he's a pretty big
He's
deal with.
fantastic. Oh, he's
You know,
amazing. He's
I've had
amazing.
a few people that have worked with him as well, other people.
Amazing. And so continuing to work with him on the next record. And, I really, really, really enjoyed the production process.
Yep,
And so I continue to do more of that. So for me, on the horizon is more music.
yeah,
Possibly so hopefully touring when that opens up as a possibility.
yep.
And just continuing and keep doing what I love to do, which is to make music. And I think that is that's what
You found
really,
your dream life. I mean, that's the way it should be.
I feel so fortunate to be able to make music all the time and to work with amazing musicians, and in my teaching to work with amazing singers who are doing fantastic things.
Okay, well, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. We're under 5 minutes, and I hope you had fun performing on my
I
show.
really did. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Now, here's the couple. Here's what I want you to do real quick. Just look at your computer and give shouts out to people that are going to see the show. Just condense them, and then we'll wrap. Just say hi to your husband, your son, and maybe some of the people in your band, and then and then we'll wrap it up.
Well, absolutely. So first and foremost, shout out to everybody watching, because without audiences, we as performers, we would be singing to empty rooms, which we
Nothing
did.
about audiences, right?
Which we did a lot of in during COVID, a
Right.
lot of live streams and singing in my basement. But shout out to everybody watching as an audience member, and of course a shout out to my husband Joe Brogan and Kyle Brogan, my son, and a shout out to all the musicians that I have the good fortune to play with. I'm not going to name everybody because I will invariably forget somebody, and then I'll feel like crap. But a big shout out to all the musicians I have the tremendous good fortune of playing with, to all the venues who support us and who we've been working really hard to support during COVID. Thank you for always giving us performers and musicians and bands and songwriters an opportunity and a platform. And to you for hosting these shows to give us artists a wider platform of people to perform for and for people to get to know us. I really appreciate what you do here. It's wonderful.
Thanks. I appreciate that we people, the folks like you that are willing to put up with me for a half hour, life.
It's super fun. This half hour just kind of zipped on
Fabulous,
by.
I know. All right. Well, just now before we wrap it up short completely, if you did have a good time with me, what I want you to do, if you would, is to spread the word about Topic Time. Maybe I can get some of your bandmates on as guests at some point. There's many people, anybody that has an interesting story to tell, even in your own family, I'd love to interview them. You got my digits. You can text me, and that's it.
I will absolutely spread the word. This has been a lot of fun. And again, thank you for hosting and for helping to create a platform for artists and others, because I know it's not just artists, but artists and others to share what we do and to reach people who I hope will enjoy what we do.
Okay. Well, now what I'm going to ask you to do, first of all, we're going to wrap the show up, but would you mind sticking around doing pictures for Facebook that Kim can help us with?
I don't mind at all.
Finish it up. All right, folks. Thanks for
I
watching.
don't mind at all. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Enjoy. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching Topic Time. See you next time. Have a great day and a great week. See you next time. Bye-bye. There we go.